Oh, hello, hello, Spirit House here. I decided I was guided actually to share some of my many years of research and knowledge and testing with you guys. I'm a master herbalist and a nutritionist, and um, I worked for a long time with as a volunteer. Actually, I just gave of my time to help. I have two autistic children that were labeled autistic. They're actually vaccine injured. They had a lot of heavy metals in their system when they were tested and after their injury, and there's a lot behind that that's proof. I mean, there was a secret meeting with the CDC at the time. My kids were like at the front of the autism epidemic, but at Simpson Wood Methodist Church, um, way back in the 80s, like late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember the exact year because it's been a long time since I've been an activist for this. I was an activist for a long time for this in DC and on a state level. Um, but um, yeah, it's there were Julie Gerberding from the CDC was there, and a bunch of Merck and a bunch of representatives from vaccine makers were there, and it's because they forgot to add up. This is what this whole meeting came down to. It was a secret, illegal meeting, by the way. It wasn't legal for them to meet up here, but they did, and we have the transcripts from that meeting. And they basically realized that when they added the measles, mumps, and rubella shots, they forgot to decrease the mercury in each one of them. So and then I mean it's in so many things. The diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis shot. Back then, I don't know what's around now because I'm not no longer doing that. I mean, I had death threats. Okay, so I didn't want my children to be killed. They were already maimed by the government and the CDC. I didn't want them to lose their lives at that point, and my family to be, I didn't want to lose my life either. So, I quit that, but I was in it for a long time, and yeah, so they forgot to add it up, and they tried to rework the numbers of the statistically significance of developmental disabilities, especially among boys, because boys were more um, prevalent. It was more prevalent in boys because mercury has a synergy with testosterone more than it does with estrogen with girls. So, and they couldn't make it go away. It was way over the it was definitely statistically significant, the prevalence over those years that they forgot to add this up. It was a major faux pas. Okay, let's just get over that now. So I had to do a lot of things, natural things, to help to try to heal my children. I not cure their autism or cure what the damage that had been done because that's impossible. But I did as much as I could to heal their bodies from that because they were very, very sick. They were ill. They developed primary immune deficiencies and autoimmune deficiencies from that were life threatening. So I had to spend about 10 grand a month until they were about 12 just to keep them alive. So, at any rate, during that time, I did a lot of research. I read a million medical extracts. I did everything I could. I was a very, and I am a very good mom. I will say that. And I even found a needle in a haystack disease that had just been discovered among the National Institute of Health, and I had the researcher there help me with one of my sons, and I discovered what was wrong with him because none of the doctors would help. Because, anyway, I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, so most of the things that I would try on my kids, I would try first myself. I would be the guinea pig. And so when you're detoxing, a natural way, I can give you many natural tips on detoxing because we have toxins, all kinds of toxins, plastics, all kinds of crap in our environment, right? And then we also have a genetic predisposition for some people that that could trigger. And then we have all these things in vaccines and heavy metals everywhere. Okay, so the best way to detox toxins and heavy metals naturally, I will say, is alpha lipoic acid. Alpha lipoic acid is one of the only amino acids that actually cross the blood brain barrier. which means they can enter the brain, and carry out toxins and heavy metals from the brain. And this is also would be beneficial. Okay, again, I'm going to make it the disclaimer: I'm not a medical doctor. Okay, I've done my research and I've done hair and urine testings and all kinds of things to see what's extracting from what. Okay, over the years, I've done many tests. Okay, I've spent thousands on tests. But alpha lipoic acid carries toxins and heavy metals out of the brain and out of deep tissue in your body, and out through your urine. Okay, so this is a good way, but you don't want to take 300 milligrams. Like I think that's the lowest dose you can get at the health food store. Okay, but you want to cut that in half to like 150. I would at least, and it's kind of, if you feel if you know you have heavy metal toxicity, you want to take this every 3 hours around the clock and set an alarm. Because what happens is when you quit taking it, whatever is residual in your bloodstream, it's going in your urine and stuff, it's going to redistribute whatever heavy metals, it's going to redistribute throughout your body. And I know that's really harsh, so that's hard to do. I can understand if people want to do that throughout the day and then when they sleep, that's fine, but it could, cause a little bit of problems at first, because it will redistribute when you quit taking it around the clock. But this is the best way to carry heavy metals, toxins, aluminum, anything, from the brain. It's the only thing that crosses the blood-brain barrier right now that we know of. So except for NaCA, and that's not been approved by the FDA. It's N-acetylcysteine amide. It's the amide version, not NaC. Anyway, they're probably never going to approve that through the FDA, even though it's completely safe and there's been a million studies on it. It can actually reverse the effects of Alzheimer's and cure all kinds of diseases, but they don't want that because they can't make money off that. So let's not even go there. I've done my research on that too. I just discovered it happenstance while looking at things. But alpha lipoic acid is great. Okay, there's other natural ways through food that you can do to carry heavy metals out of the body, but it's not proven that they cross the blood-brain barrier. Let me just put that there. But cilantro is a good one. Also, garlic is a very good one. The only problem with garlic is that when it's growing, sometimes it sucks the heavy metals and minerals from the earth, right? But it's still, I believe, one of the best treatments for heavy metal detox. Garlic is wonderful. You can buy odorless garlic if you don't want to smell, like it. But and also cilantro. And also garlic is very good for killing candida and fungal overgrowth in your body. Like if you have it in your nails, then it's probably systemic. So it's in your gut too. That's how it showed up in your nails. So it's usually systemic. So garlic is an excellent way to do that. But anyway, those are a couple of things. And chlorella has been said to help carry out, heavy metals from the body. But those are the main things that I would do naturally that you can, do from the health food store. You can make salsa, eat it however you want. You can put it in your salad dressing. I do that with a lot of things. I'll put it in my salad dressing, because I make all of my own salad dressings. So I'll put like olive oil, and then I'll put different like oregano, or this or that. But in the next video, I'll tell you about what I've learned about fungus, how to rid your body and your gut of problems. But this one's about heavy metals, so I'm going to stop right about there. Those are the best things that I know of that aren't chemical, that, you don't need a prescription for it, that actually work over you have to take it for a long period of time, of course, because you spent your whole life building up these. But in hair and urine tests, among myself and my children excreted a whole bunch. Once we started this, the alpha lipoic acid when they were young, they excreted antimony, high levels of arsenic, and I don't know, maybe from the rice cereal I was giving them as a child, because rice has high levels of arsenic. they excreted lead, mercury, and nickel. So that's pretty significant for like months until we stopped this protocol. And then I did the same things. I had high levels of arsenic, antimony, um, and some mercury, and more lead than mercury. But anyway, it was beneficial for the whole family when we did this at this time when they were little. I mean, they're grown now, but their health has improved so much since we did. I mean, I did so much more than just that. But that's just like for heavy metals. And I hope this helped. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.